Hello students, I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome back to Accounting 1329, Payroll and Business Tax Accounting. This is Dr. Mercado speaking, and we are continuing covering Chapter 2, which deals with computing wages and salaries. Now in this particular lecture, we are going to be covering problem 2.9, okay? Now this problem, students tend to struggle a lot. We're going to be analyzing a time card, and we are going to be docking employees for being late, okay? How fun is that, okay? Now, this is a pretty long, that has a lot of information. The problem has a lot of data that we need to analyze and understand so we can be able to apply it when we're solving for our hours worked and then eventually our gross earnings, okay? So it says, under the decimal system of computing time worked at Timmerman Company, production workers who are tardy are docked according to the schedule below, okay? So if you're between 1 through 6 minutes late, you're going to get docked 1/10 of an hour, okay? 7 through 12 minutes late, 2/10. 13 through 18 minutes late, 3/10 of an hour. 19 through 24, 4/10 of an hour, etc., etc. Now, the regular hours of work are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and from 12:30 to 4:30 p.m. During 1 week, Henry Bajorn, who earns $12.15 an hour, reports in and checks out as shown below. And we have a time card. Now this is very important. Employees are not paid for ringing in a few minutes before 7:30 and 12:30. So if you clock in a little bit early, you are not going to get paid, nor for ringing out a few minutes after 11:30 or 4:30. Okay? So we have to refer to the time card provided and compute the total hours worked each day, the total hours for the week, and the gross earnings for the week, okay? So the first requirement is calculate the hours worked each day. So let's look at Monday. Monday, the employee clocked in at 7:28, okay? And it says here that if you clock in a little bit early, you are not going to get paid, okay? They clocked out at 11:31. They're not going to get paid for that minute there. It says here that, remember, employees are not paid for ringing in a few minutes before 7:30 or 12:30, nor for ringing out a few minutes after 11:30 or 4:30, okay? So then that means that this is not going to impact them. They clocked in a minute early. That's not going to impact them. And they clocked out 1 minute late. So overall, there is no adjustments on Monday. So we worked from 7:30 to 11:30. That's 4 hours. And then from 12:30 to 4:30, that's 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. That's another 4 hours. So on this particular day, the employee worked 8 hours. Okay. Okay. Let's look at Tuesday. On Tuesday, the employee clocked in at 7:35. The employee is late. How late? 5 minutes late. So this employee is going to get docked 1/10 of an hour. Okay? They clock out at 11:30, which is correct. They clock in at 12:30, which is correct, and then they clock out at 4:30. So they did very well, except having arrived 5 minutes late. Okay? So if they are 5 minutes late, they're gonna get docked 1/10 of an hour. Now 1/10 of an hour is 1 divided by 10. That's a 0.10 deduction. Okay? So in this particular case, the employee is going to get paid 7 hours, 7.90. Why? Because we're docking 0.10. So that is being deducted. Okay? Now let's look at Wednesday. Wednesday, the employee clocked in at 7:50. That is 20 minutes late. Okay? So because they were 20 minutes late, they're going to get docked 4/10 of an hour. And then that means 4/10 is 4 divided by 10. They're going to get docked 0.40. Okay? So on Wednesday, they come in 20 minutes late. Then they clock out at 11:33, which is fine. That's within the limits. They clocked in at 12:27, and then they clock out at 4:32. So the only major adjustment is them having clocked in 20 minutes late. Okay? So because they clocked in 20 minutes late, they're going to get penalized 0.40. So then it's going to be 1 minus 0.40. That means we're going to pay them 7 hours, 7.60 hours. Okay, that's what we're going to do. 7.60 hours because they were docked for being 20 minutes late. Okay. Now let's look at Thursday. Okay. Thursday, here we go. They clocked in a couple of minutes late. They don't get paid for that. 1 minute adjustment after when they clocked out. That's fine. And then when they came back from lunch, they were supposed to come back from lunch at 12:30. What time did they come in? 12:50. They were 20 minutes late clocking in for lunch. Okay, 20 minutes late. Okay. Let's see. Thursday. Okay, yes. Thursday, they're 20 minutes late. Okay, so Thursday, they were supposed to clock in from lunch at 12:30. They clocked in at 12:50. That's 20 minutes. And then they clocked out at 4:33. 3 minutes after, that's not going to impact them because it says here that we do not pay for ringing in before 7:30 and 12:30 or for ringing out a few minutes after 11:30 and 4:30. So the only major penalty is that having clocked in from lunch at 12:50 when they should have clocked in at 12:30. Okay, so that means that they're gonna get docked 20 minutes. That would be 0.40. So that means that the hours that they're gonna get paid is 760. Okay, so the amount of that they're being docked is 0.40. So 8 hours minus 0.40. Okay, 8 hours minus 0.40 will give me 7.60. Okay. Let's look at Friday. Okay. On Friday, they clocked in at 7:28. This is fine. Clocked out at 11:32. They clocked in back from lunch at 12:40. They were supposed to clock back in from lunch at 12:30. So they're 10 minutes late. If they're 10 minutes late, they're going to get docked 0.20. Okay. So if they're going to get docked 0.20, that's 8 minus 0.20. That will mean that they're going to get paid 7.80 hours. Okay. So it's just a matter of figuring out, are they late, and if they're late, how many minutes, so we can deduct those fractions of the hour from the total hours worked for that day. Okay. So these are my hours worked. Now for part B, it says the total hours worked. We're just going to add those together. And that gives me 38.90 hours. Okay. 38.90 hours were worked for the week. Okay. Now once we have the total hours, okay, we can go ahead and we can calculate the gross earnings for the week. Okay. So we know that this employee worked 38.90 hours. And this employee gets paid, how much did it say that this employee? They get paid $12.15 an hour. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the hours worked of 38.90. And we're going to multiply it by the hourly rate of $12.15. That would give me $472. Now let's look at that third digit. It's a 5. So that means that that second digit is going to be rounded up to a 4. Okay. So it'll be 472.64. Okay. So that is the earnings for the week based on the hours worked. Remember that we had to calculate the hours per day, dock the employee if they were late based on the table provided here. Okay. And what I did is instead of using fractions, I used decimals. I just think it's easier to do the math. Remember, how do I get the decimal? 1 divided by 10 will give me 0.10. So then I know from the hour, from 1 hour, I'm going to deduct 0.10. So that means I'm going to pay them 0.90 hours. Okay, that's just how I use them. If you feel comfortable with fractions, you can use fractions. Okay, regardless, you'll get the same solution. Once you get the hours per each day, you add them together, get your total. Once you have your total, you multiply it by the hourly rate provided, and that is given to you in the problem, and that will give you your gross earnings for the week. Okay. Very simple. It's just reading carefully what you dock, what you don't dock. Okay. And that is basically it for this question. Make sure that you utilize the 2 attempts provided in your homework. If you do not score a 70% or better on your first try, please, please, please use that second try to try and get more practice and try to better understand the content. Okay, so that is it for this problem. Until next time, have a wonderful day, students.